good?
Can y'all hear me out there?
Can you hear me?
All right. I just want to thank y'all for coming out. Thank you very much.
Well,
thank you.
You probably know that Sean launched Bad Boy Records in the 90s. He discovered Notorious B.I.G. He launched Sean John clothing line. He revitalized Ciroc vodka. And that his newest endeavor is the Revolt TV project going on right now. But you probably didn't know that his first entrepreneurial venture was doing a paper route as a kid. Or that he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame next to that of Kermit the Frog.
Which is huge.
And hopefully we're going to learn a lot more from him today. I think we all come here to South by to learn about music and technology and innovation and kind of the intersection of those things. And I think there's really nobody out there who embodies that more than Sean. In the spirit of South by, we're going to have a kind of continuing roll of questions. I'm going to pull out my phone. I promise I won't be checking email. And
that they got it confused because the Dolan family also owns the Knicks. So I actually put in a bid for the Knicks. But why? Yeah, but I mean, I put a bid in for the Knicks. Ain't nobody called me back yet. But I'm trying to fix the Knicks situation. It's one of my priorities, right now. But I don't know where people get these stories from, but everybody has their ear to the streets, and we just out here trying to get it. And I think that we could relate to everybody. That's one thing about Revolt and myself. That the reason why I come down here is I can relate to the entrepreneurial spirit that everybody has.
All right. One more question on Revolt before we move along. You've talked before about how Biggie was an inspiration to you in many ways, but in fact, you guys discussed something like Revolt way back, way before he died. Tell me a little bit about that.
No, we just always discussed not having to count on radio or any of the music video channels to be successful. And we didn't know that this day right here would come, but we always had a discussion about like how can we just take the power into our own hands of just having to deal with so many kind of BS politics in the music game.
What do you think his career trajectory would have been, if he were alive today? Where do you think he would have gone from where he was in the mid-90s?
Yeah, I think that he would have probably been an R&B singer. He loved R&B. He would have transitioned. Being an R&B singer. Matter of fact, we're going to put out a clip on Revolt of him singing a Jodeci song. So make sure if you don't have Revolt, you're not going to be able to see it. Or go to revolt.tv. But he was a great singer and a great R&B. He loved R&B songs. He loved Luther Vandross, and we probably would have put in a bid for Hennessy or something, and he would have had Hennessy, I would have had Ciroc. And I think people ask that question all the time. I just know that the bar would have remained raised in the world of hip hop. So I think that losing him, losing Tupac, losing a lot of people that we've lost, it kind of lowered the bar for a minute. And now I think that bar is getting raised back up by this new generation of artists that are really taking their time and putting their hearts and their souls into their music. So I want to give a shout out to all those artists, up and coming artists. Keep doing your thing. Tell the truth, man. And you don't put no cut on it. Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to us how it's supposed to be. And that's what hip hop and music, rock and roll, alternative music, even dance music is supposed to be about. It's about the truth. The truth will set you free.
All right.
Community. So even if it's a community of people that are quote unquote successful, like I like to go in uncharted territory. So coming down here, it kind of also gave me the rocket fuel for Revolt. But I've always been doing stuff like this. I've been going to Ibiza for 20 years. People just getting onto that now. I've been doing dance music since Junior Vasquez in the Sound Factory before a lot of people in here were born. You know what I'm saying? So I've been, whether it's doing duets with Jimmy Page or doing remixes for Trent Reznor, there's so many things about me that, that I've been this way. And I just really, as I grow, I want to stay on to the things that I really love. And coming down to places like South by Southwest and rubbing shoulders with young people with a dream, that's what I really love to do. And so, you know, I'm sorry about the cheesecake thing. It was just for TV, you know. But I really would go to Brooklyn to get cheesecake if somebody told me to. That's just the truth.
Me too. Yeah.
And a silence came over the room.
All right.
But I won't make y'all get cheesecake though.
There's a great saying that I'm really fond of, and you know, I'm probably going to botch the actual quote, but it goes something like, good entrepreneurs create companies, great entrepreneurs create categories. And you've definitely created your share of categories, and definitely, I think, you know, Revolt being the latest example of that. What do you think is the next category that, you know, kind of entertainment impresarios are going to move into, you know, after clothing and headphones and, you know, now cable?
I know the thing that I'm moving into is philanthropy. I feel that. I've just written a couple of checks. I'm just starting, so but no, it's more than just checks. It's about, you know, I mean, one of the beauties about just there is something to be said about like getting older. You know what I'm saying? It's really not all that bad, you know. And you like mature and you kind of understand and kind of tap into what your purpose is. And I think that, you know, this culture has supported so many of us, which everybody's so hyped on about who's going to be the billionaire, who makes 100, who does this, what the list is. But it's really about how many lives that you've touched in a positive way. And I think that you will see, one of the things that recording artists are very emotional. And also entrepreneurs are very emotional. And this generation is very emotional. I think you'll see a lot of people caring more and giving back and wanting to pay it forward. And I think that'll be, the new thing that you'll see different successful entrepreneurs like myself, hopefully, you know, get into. That it's not just about, because we've been supported so much, it's time for us to also make sure that things are balanced, that we also give back. Right.
On that note, giving back, you know, not just financially, but in terms of giving advice. You know, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of musicians out here today. You know, what kind of lessons would you give to them, and how do you think they can learn from your career? You know, I mean, obviously, not everybody can go out and start a clothing line or a vodka or, you know, launch a cable channel.
See, that's the thing I disagree with. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing that people put in people's heads. They put that in your heads, that I'm doing something that's special. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm doing a good job, but what I'm doing, you could do too. You just have to work as hard as me and believe as hard as I believed. And I still believe every day. And as far as the, I don't mean to throw you under the bus by saying like,
no.
I want to ask you, have you asked
I'm just
me?
trying to get you talking, man. I'm like,
but, you know, it's crazy because I've been really lately. So I'm the type of guy when I go in the office, I may not even speak to nobody. I used to. This was like 3 years ago. I started speaking in the last 3 years because I would be so in the zone as a machine. And some of my employees may say I still do it to this day, but I'm so in the zone when I go to work. And I don't think I was having enough dialogue with the people that were believing in my dream to come and work with me. So I was like, I want to become like a better boss. I want to become a better leader. And so I started going and like learning about that. And it was like, one of the things was like, you shouldn't, you know, treat people how you would treat yourself. You should understand, you know, kind of how they need to be treated. And so it made me kind of take my time and ask some of the cats that were coming out, kids that were coming out of college, like, you know, like, what do you want to do? Or even out of high school. And one of the things was they were saying, like, I don't really know. You know, I don't really know right now. I'm trying to figure it out. I would say that's one of the most important things. You have to, you can make money, but you can't make time. You know, you have to get in touch with your feelings. You got to be honest with yourself, and you can't be scared of those dreams. It's like you saying like, you know, I really want to act, but then you're like, but I can't be an actor, or I really want to you know, follow in the footsteps to start my own music or be a writer or you know, major in the arts. You can do anything you want to do. There has to be a day, a starting point when you put that pressure on yourself. There has to be a starting point when you make that decision from, yo, I'm young and it's all good and I don't know what I want to do, to like, I know what I want to do, because I had the honest conversation with myself, and I'm going to do what it takes to do it, even though it's going to be painful, it's going to be scary, you know, and it's going to hurt. And I think that's the first step before I even give like any more details of how to be an entrepreneur, because it's like you got to first of all find something that you love to do. Any successful entrepreneur, they're not doing it for the money, you know. No matter how much you write about it, that's not the reason why we wake up in the morning. We're doing it because we love it, and that's our dream. And so I would say find something you love and don't be afraid to do what it takes to get it. I would say tech specialist. Cool.
Mr. Combs, my name is Trent Spears, professionally known as DJ Supreme. I gotta film this because I'm talking to Diddy Combs in front of people. And I don't want to slouch in front of you, so I picked the mic up. I'm like 7 feet tall. I went to HBCU, just like you. I went to Fisk. I went to Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee, repping FU now. I'm 39 years old right now. Went to college when I was 17. I graduated when I was 27. Left school with 2 ex-wives, 2 kids, a fiance. Now I got a new wife, 4 kids, and 1 on the way in September. But during all that, I never ever stopped making music and DJing. Now that half of my kids are grown, in their 20s and 17 years old, now that half my kids are grown, I can focus my time on my music. And you were saying, you know, don't wait till you're 35 to get started. So I don't feel like I waited till I was 35 to get started. I just raised my kids and make my records second. What do I do now? Hold on, let me flip it around to you so you can answer the question. I gotta have all this, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Dr. Phil for you. You wanna come up closer so you You're not really asking a business question. This is like one of those personal questions right there. Yeah, you can get right here. You get just make sure you get my angle right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, and now that you feel like that you can make that move on music, you have to deal with the reality that you are starting a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? And that we're living in an age where also being old is a little bit frowned upon. I like just giving it to you uncut and raw. So you got to be even doper than, you got to take even more chances than the 17-year-old. My sweat, because I'm nervous. I'm a human being. Yeah, but when you love something and you do something out of the love, you want to be successful at it. But the way you measure your success when you love something isn't always by money, or it isn't always by record sales or how many people you DJ in front of. It's like the joy that you get out of it, and if you know you're dope. So you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest with your DJing and you're making your music. You got to be able to raise the kids and also put your all into it and know that you have a harder road than somebody that's 17, 18, 19 trying to get in the game. And that's just real talk.
Thank you. Instagram, and
yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the next question because we.
Hi, Mr. Combs. My name is Nia Harris. I'm from California, and my question is much like you mentioned.
But on a business level, I think that it's kind of evident when you look around at the rate of more women in power. I think we will see a woman president next, and I just think that you will see more women being in power. So hold on to your dream, and also be grateful that that you were born during this time when this change is going on, and you wasn't born like 50 years ago. And that's one of the things I can say is women and minorities we have in common. It's just like the unfair struggle worldwide, and whatever we could all work on together to stop that, we should do that, because everybody should have a fair chance and be treated fairly.
Cool. Barbecue on me. Who I need to talk to?
Kenny, but we're gonna do that in LA though. And
It's all good. We can do LA.
Yeah,
I love
okay.
LA.
All right, cool.
I'll get with Kenny. We can do LA.
All right.
All right, we got one more.
I'll make this a long-ass question. Now, really quick though, my name is Sean Glover. I work at SoundChange. We collect and distribute the digital royalty, so we've been I've been fortunate to be on that digital revolution and explosion to help artists be viable in this new age of streaming music. But what we just discovered is that there's two services, XM Series and Pandora, that's not paying artists because of a misinterpretation of the law. They're not paying legacy artists. So what we're trying to do is contact and get in touch with the current artists to help the ones that, you know, preceded us. What would an artist like you do, and how do you feel about older artists not being fairly compensated when music is streamed on the web, cable, and satellite?
You know, I honestly feel just with the digital revolution, it's been taking